All right, so over the weekend, I completed D684, Intro to Computer Science, and I also completed um, Ethics and Technology, D333. So for Intro to Computer Science, it is a objective assessment, so it's just a straight up test. And Ethics and Technology is performance assessment, two um, assignments where you have to answer a bunch of questions. But I'm not going to go over ethics and technology just yet, just because I'm still waiting for those tasks to be graded. Performance assessments usually take about 3 days to be graded, though that does vary. Typically, it's usually like a day, but maximum it's 3 days. Objective assessments are usually get graded right away, usually within like 5 to 10 minutes. But anyways, this video is going to cover Intro to Computer Science. Now, this course was actually tougher than I was expecting. I will say that, but as the title suggests, it talks about you know, your fundamental computer science concepts, networking, hardware components, your computer architecture, as well as programming concepts and algorithm concepts. It was actually a solid course. It was tougher than I thought, and it was more in depth than I was expecting. So, yeah, that's Intro to Computer Science. Again, it's an objective assessment, 60 questions. And when it comes to courses that have an objective assessment, I always recommend to take the pre-assessment first just to get a gauge of where you're at and see what it is that you need to study. So surprisingly, when I took the performance assessment, it was pretty hard, and I did pass it. The performance assessment, sorry, the pre-assessment, I did pass it, but it was barely. So I did, brush up on some of the things that I needed to review, which in my case was computer architecture. And yeah, I'd say it took me about 5 days of study. Yeah, like 4 to 5 days of study. Each day I studied about 3 to 4 hours, and then yeah, I retook it, and it was pretty straightforward. It wasn't too hard, but it was more studying than I was expecting to do. I had to put in a little bit more legwork than I anticipated. But yeah, it was actually a pretty solid course. It's a really good introductory course for sure to computer science. This is one of those newer courses for the WGU Computer Science program, and that this used to not be part of the curriculum, but this class, along with the two AI classes, were recently added to the curriculum, um, making the degree slightly less hackable, but still doable. So strategy, again, took the pre-assessment, just looked over what it is that I had to go over, which in my case was the hardware stuff, your computer architecture, as well as um, some networking concepts. But again, that's always what I recommend with objective assessments is just see what domains you did poorly in and just review those. And then yeah, I took the objective assessment. Objective assessment was pretty easy once I went over what it is that I needed to go over, and it was pretty straightforward. Overall rating, I'd probably give this course I'd give it a 4 out of 10. I'll give it a 4 out of 10. Not hard. None of the concepts were really that hard. It doesn't take much time to get through this course, but it's a lot. It actually does cover a lot, and it's a lot of information that I have to go through with in regards to the textbooks. As in terms of the textbooks, my my process in regards to the textbooks, because a lot of them are pretty dry, I skimmed through it, and then if it was interesting, I'd read it more closely, and if it was just super dry, I would just continue skimming through it. That's kind of how I approach these textbooks. It's just skim through it, slow down at times if we got some important information, but generally it's just me skimming through it. But yeah, that's D684. Another class knocked out. Again, pretty straightforward class. You shouldn't have too much problems with this. And yeah, once my assignments are graded for ethics and technology, I'll go over that one. And then yeah, on to the next course. Talk soon.